What is up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to Moneyline Media. I hope you guys are all having an absolutely wonderful Wednesday. Yes, I am on target. We are about to have a wonderful interview. In just a moment, we're going to be joined by Tre Threat. He is a monster.
He is a
6'2".
monster and has the best name ever.
Yeah.
Right,
Honestly,
let's let him in.
Jacksonville State.
Jacksonville State, Auburn.
Auburn.
Hula Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Trey, can you hear us? Oh, there. And I like the background. Hear me?
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we love the background.
Appreciate it. I'm missing the beach. That's why.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
Tre, thanks so much for coming on, man. Congratulations on everything. Great performance on Sunday. We enjoyed it.
We did.
Appreciate that.
All right, so if we could just start at the beginning with you, Tre. Can you take us a little bit through your recruiting process and how you originally ended up at Auburn?
Yeah, so coming up, recruiting really started back when I was a freshman. I was at St. Paul's Episcopal High School in Mobile, Alabama. And just down there, we started receiving letters at a real young age. And at that point, that's sophomore year went by. I had a transfer to Spanish Fort High School my sophomore year. Got there, had a pretty decent year. They moved me to stand up like an outside linebacker position. And after that year, I really had a stellar junior year. And after my junior year, not gonna lie, my coach, I'll never forget, I was playing baseball my sophomore year. I was like the youngest kid on the varsity baseball team. And my coach was like, you got to make a decision, football or baseball. And I chose football, and I went to a couple camps, like 2 camps, and that was really about it. But at those camps were big name people who are in the league now, you know. And so after that after my junior season, that's when all the schools just started firing off with offers. I'll never forget my first 4 offers were January, March, and first one Clemson. Then next week Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I'll never forget that. Like they were back to back. And so after that, the recruiting process was fun. I'm not gonna lie, but I grew up in Auburn. Damian Craig was my recruiting coach, and he's a Mobile, Alabama guy. That's where he grew up. That's where he played football. And I had 2 former teammates that I played with at Auburn already before I got there.
Oh, okay.
And that just made it even better. So it felt like home. And it was, that's how the process went. That's why I chose Auburn coming out of high school.
Sweet.
Awesome. So you moved from Auburn to Jacksonville State. What went into that process, and why did you decide to transfer?
I decided to transfer more for personal interest. That's really all I can say about that. I mean, nothing, no trouble. I never got in trouble. No crazy stuff like that. Just more personal benefit for me and what I saw best for myself. And the recruiting process after that was pretty almost the same like high school. A lot of former colleges that was recruiting me out of high school, recruiting me out of Auburn. I decided to go FCS just simply because in my headspace, I was wanting more film, and it wasn't playing time. I wasn't worried about playing time. I could have went anywhere and played, but I wanted film, and I wanted to be happier on a personal level.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's what really took. And really, the recruiting process was pretty much the same. Honestly, didn't much change. I just decided to drop down a division and play and be eligible immediately, and that was all. That's all she wrote with that.
Awesome.
Makes total sense. So Tre, it has been definitely a wild year. Can you tell us a little bit what this season was like for you, playing throughout this pandemic, COVID-19 going on?
Yeah, honestly, so I got injured coming out of 2019 after my senior year. I had an opportunity to go back for a 5th year, I decided when COVID hit and with my injury, I decided to opt out.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, just, being out of football for that time span and looking at my former teammates at Auburn, at Jacksonville State, or any college really where I had people I knew that were playing, just, just seeing them play and seeing them play through a pandemic, there's a lot of outside opinions. You really get to see how the outside world thinks about, college athletes.
Mm-hmm.
If they opt out and decide not to play, people are mad. You fans are bashing them, saying negative things about them, but they don't know what the athlete is going through or why he made that decision. You got guys who opted out at first, seeing that they were having a season, decided to opt back in, which was, and it's just it's a whole plethora of things going on, decisions made and stuff like that. But it was just it was a different world. I really got to see how the outside world, how they can, really love you one second and hate you the next if you mess up or something crazy. So, go ahead.
So I was one of the maybe crazy people when Trevor Lawrence got COVID. Me and James not argued, but we debated about it. And I was like, "Kids should opt out." Yeah, I was one of those. You should opt out. Get the money.
Honestly, COVID was. I mean, I'm gonna speak freely and be honest. COVID really didn't affect me on a personal level. And honestly, it didn't affect anybody I know personally. To me, it was another disease.
Mm-hmm.
Personally speaking, everybody has their own different opinion about it. But personally speaking, like where I was at back at home, because I decided to coach at my former high school this past season for football.
Really?
Being around that and seeing how the guys acted, like if you act like you're scared to go outside, or if you just follow protocol and do what you do, wear your mask, I guess, and you're gonna be all right. I mean, if you test positive, then quarantine, and when you're done, come back and play football. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
But fortunately enough, I would say that my high school kids, we didn't have any tests. We didn't have any positives. We didn't have anybody miss because of COVID. We had all of our guys, and we were, one of the out of 50 states, only I want to say upper 20s maybe played football the whole season.
Right.
We were fortunate enough to not even have to cancel games or anything like that, really.
Right.
So that was a blessing. And so really, and plus Alabama, we're at the beach and stuff like that, where I'm from. So honestly, we just basically saying like we're not scared. Like nobody acted like they were scared to go out and do anything. Like everybody has to live their life and go to work and do what they have to do. Just follow protocol while you're doing it.
Absolutely.
That brings us to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, James.
Go ahead, Jason.
I was going to bring up the Hula Bowl. How much fun was that? You knocked the guy into next week while you were there. You got to play under Rex Ryan. What was that like, especially as a defensive player? Like that had to be awesome.
Man, so initially going into it, I was hoping to get on the red team. Not gonna lie, to play under. I mean, come on now, like to play as a linebacker. I was thinking of it from a linebacker standpoint. To play under a Hall of Fame linebacker,
right.
Yes.
Mike Singletary, who is undoubtedly like one of the best defensive linebackers to ever play the game of football. You got to think like to play under him and learn from somebody of that nature. That's big time. And, that's a once in a lifetime type thing for me. Not to knock Rex Ryan, but just a linebacker standpoint. Now to praise Coach Ryan. Honestly, I love Coach Rex Ryan. He's probably like the funniest coach I've had.
Really?
Even just in a short time period. Yeah, that's a loose cannon, but I love learning from him. He was one of those coaches where if you have questions, ask, which is like, something I really love because if you tell me I got the hook curl and this person does this, or the player does this, am I able to ask questions, and how do you want to play this? I like to be like, as a middle linebacker, I want to be just like my defensive coordinator. I want to think how you think. So, because my whole I want to have a really great relationship with my defensive coordinator because, you know, if the team decides the tempo, I want to know, like, I don't want to have to look towards the sideline to get a call. I want to be able to call the defense on my own because I know if it's 3rd and short and we're on the 5-yard line, I know we're going to play single or man coverage across the board.
Right.
And I want to think just like my defensive coordinator. But Coach Ryan's, man, he's crazy, he's funny, but he just let us go out there and have fun. He kept it simple. He let us play fast, which allows us to play fast and physical. And the Hula Bowl as a whole, I cannot appreciate them enough for allowing me to come out and showcase my skills and give me the opportunity to do that. That was a great opportunity, and I loved every second of it, honestly.
And it's funny you brought up the coaches because Mike Singletary played for Buddy Ryan with the 85 Bears, and then Rex Ryan is obviously Buddy Ryan's son. So you're
Correct.
coming from that great coaching tree there. You know, he probably gave just as much knowledge to Singletary as he did to his own son.
Exactly.
So has there been anybody in your career that you really think back as that, like, who has had the biggest influence on your career?
As far as, like, athlete or just personal?
One athlete and one personal. So
an athlete, I mean, obviously everybody grows up wanting to be like Ray Lewis. I mean, that's who you grow up. That's who I grew up watching.
Absolutely.
But as time has developed, time developed, I really took on the game watching Luke Kuechly. Like over the past 8 years, I've really zoned in and watched Luke Kuechly. He was a spectacular role model to watch and model my game after. Because, you know, it just goes to show, like, you know, he's big. He's about 6'3", 240. I'm big, 6'2", 245. You know, but if for me personally, it was his mindset, his football IQ for the game, you know, and he wasn't the fastest linebacker, obviously. Right. He wasn't the strongest, but if you got that knowledge and the way he studies the game, you're gonna be a step faster or a step, you know, closer to the play before everybody else. So that's who I would have to model my game after if I did say anybody. Like Luke Kuechly's the spot on. As far as personal life, man, honestly, man, I'm just gonna say both of my parents. They both pushed me to, you know, pave the way for my brother and sister, my younger cousins and stuff like that. And they always hold me to a high level, a very high ceiling. So they always push me into just you know, that's who keep influencing me, honestly, and motivating me to play the game that I play.
Very good.
Also, other than your parents, I'm sure Luke Kuechly is one of the best pros. I mean, any pro team that hears that you're modeling your game after him is going to be super pumped because he was always one step ahead of everyone, but he did it quietly. So that was, you know, that was who he was. That's awesome. What have you been working on this offseason to improve on, if there's anything specific?
Definitely my when I say speed, just because I'm recovering from a lower body injury, just working that speed and getting that back, my explosion, definitely. But the one thing I've worked on the most is like the group. This is why I'm training where I'm training is because coverage. I mean, everybody, you know, linebacker the game the way it is nowadays, you got to cover. You got to be able to cover man coverage, zone coverage. It doesn't matter. And so that's why I'm down here training. That's what I mean. I train with a group of DBs. So I mean, every time we do training or field work, I'm doing DB work. So
that's going to make you improve so much too. Just DBs as a linebacker, learning their moves too. I'm sure it doesn't hurt.
No, not at all.
So what should NFL teams expect from you, both as a person and as a player?
As a person, man, just I'm not high maintenance. I'm very easygoing, simple. I got a great character, great personality. Like I said, easygoing. Never expect trouble out of me. I don't even like causing attention to myself. Mm-hmm. That's just the type of person I am, and anybody I know will vouch for me on that spectrum. Through all my years of college, like I said, even transferring, I never got in trouble. I never caused trouble with teachers. I do my work. I get the job done. I just do what I'm supposed to do. In my free time, you'll probably never even see me because I'll probably be somewhere playing a game or just ducked off. Athletically, most definitely the one thing I'll honestly say they're going to get is a smart linebacker, a very intelligent linebacker that wants to learn more about the game. My thing is, if you're the best at what you do and if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. I don't want to be that type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even going to my first year in the NFL, I obviously everybody wants to play, but I just want to earn my keep pretty much and learn from the veterans that's been playing this game for a long time. And they're going to get a highly intelligent player that understands the game of football.
I like that quote that you had. I don't want to ever be the smartest guy in the room because then I'm in the wrong room. Now that's a great quote. Who was like the toughest guy that you had to go against at the Hula Bowl? There was a couple really good offensive linemen there. I'm sure people that you've passed maybe before as well. Who was the toughest that you had to go up against?
Oh, man. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, obviously the talent there was crazy, wicked. It was, everybody's talented. Everybody's there for a reason. Honestly, I'm going to have to give it to my boy Brady Davis. I can't, I'm just throwing him out there just because him and the quarterbacks, they gave me trouble, man. Every time I would leave a zone or do something, they're throwing it right behind me, throwing it right from where I left. So honestly, all the quarterbacks, Brady Davis, Brady White, and KJ Costello, like they were probably the three, like that's my competitor on the other side,
Right.
I'm running the defense, they're running the offense. And so I'm not going to pinpoint just one singular because that whole quarterbacks group, they gave us trouble. They were all three pretty good. Great timing, great. They throwing in the perfect windows, pretty ball. Like everything they did was professional level athlete. Like that's how I want my quarterback to be.
Yeah, sure. All right, so we play this game with all our guests. It's called Steady Fire. It's just random questions that we ask you that are fun. Some might be football related, some might not be football related.
Gotcha.
I'll start. What is your favorite jersey that you've ever gotten to wear? Like that you've played in?
Favorite jersey got to be the 2016 Under Armour All-American game jersey.
Ooh, those are sweet. Those are sweet jerseys.
Favorite home cooked meal?
Favorite home cook? I ain't gonna lie, chicken pot pie. My mom's chicken pot pie.
You like any dessert, Trey?
Yeah, but some cheesecake anytime.
Cheesecake.
Oh, yes.
Who was your favorite non-football professional athlete?
Any athlete outside of football?
Any athlete outside of football?
Kobe Bryant, hands down.
Hold on, Deirdre. Now we gotta
I know. He's got this.
Kobe all the
I got
way.
the number 8
Mamba.
tattooed. Yep.
Mamba, baby.
You got that Mamba mentality too.
Most definitely. Hey, I grew up watching Kobe, man. That's the guy.
What was your favorite position to play in baseball?
Third base.
Third base. All right. I love it.
You got a cannon?
Oh yeah.
You have to play in third base.
That's true. That's true. Potentially might be switched over to quarterback in the NFL.
Hey, if they need me to play, if they need a QB, I got it.
Yeah.
See, if you were on the Denver Broncos earlier this year when they ran out of quarterback.
Hey, listen, whatever position they want me to go play, I'll go play.
Gotcha.
Love it.
So just say during your whole college career, you lose every game, but you play one team every year and you crush them. What team do you want that to be?
First team that came to my mind was Alabama.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
I knew I had to. I had to, man.
I have to tell the story to every Auburn guy that we have come on the show too. We had Kendall Simmons on. He was an Auburn guy, and we spoke to him. I was in Milwaukee at the Harley-Davidson Museum, and this girl in front of me, there's like a big guest book that everybody signs when you leave, and she wrote Roll Tide on it. And I went right in and I wrote War Eagle right underneath.
That's crazy. Alabama's always going to be my first pick. I don't hate Alabama, but it's a strong dislike.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
James, you go.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite team growing up?
What level?
Let's go with MLB.
MLB, Boston Red Sox.
All
Oh
right.
no.
I'll take it.
Oh
I
no.
don't care.
Trey, you had me up until that.
I'm sorry, man. Listen, my teams. One thing you'll learn about me, my teams, they're scattered. They're all over the place.
What were your other teams? I'm gonna assume NBA is Lakers.
Yes, sir. I'm a Lakers fan. Then there's Kobe. Yeah, understand. Let's go with MLB, Boston Red Sox, college basketball, North Carolina Tar Heels.
Oh, Trey, you just keep breaking my heart.
Man, I'm sorry.
No, keep breaking it. Go ahead.
Yeah. In college, obviously, I grew up an Auburn fan, so Auburn. NFL, I'm gonna be very honest. I don't know if I kind of switched over as the time. I've never had a true NFL team. I grew up liking the Colts, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Bob Harrison. Like, I know all those guys. Yeah, that's all I got so far, just like off the top of my head.
All right.
Trey, if you weren't a professional football player or about to be a professional football player, what would you be like? What would your career be?
Physical therapist.
Okay.
Very nice.
NFL could have used you with all those injuries. You could have been a player and then gone and done physical therapy. They could get two for the price of one.
Hey, yeah, pretty much. Hey,
Yeah.
that's what I'm still in school, man. I'm doing grad school right now, so that's what I'm doing.
Congrats.
Appreciate that.
So, do you have any go-to hype-up songs?
Man. I ain't gonna lie, it's a tradition. I've been doing it since I was in high school, really probably middle school, but every pregame, before game, I have to listen to C Murder, Down for My Guys. You know, everybody loves that. That's my song right there, though. I have to listen. That's the switch. I'm probably the most easygoing person. And then when I hear, we got 5 minutes to warm up,
yep,
I turn that song on, and then that's that switch. The switch flips at that point.
You're ready to put people into different states with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is your dream quarterback to sack? Could be past, could be present.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Tom Brady. I don't like Tom Brady.
There we go. There we go.
I like Tom Brady, but I don't like Tom Brady.
I think it's like, I'm a Jets fan, so I think it's like we respect him. You respect everything he does, but you root against him. That's just, correct. I mean.
Like I said, I grew up liking the Colts, so Peyton Manning was the quarterback. So, Tom Brady comes in and it's like, this guy.
Right. Hey.
Well, all right, so since you're fresh off the island, we got to play a little game of Desert Island here. You got to bring one movie, one book, one music album for the rest of your life, stranded on the island. What are you bringing?
Ooh, I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, book. I ain't gonna lie. The Kill a Mockingbird. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
Great one.
Classic.
One album.
Yep.
Wow. That's a tough one. I already know the movie. That's last. I gotta say that for last because that's the easiest one. Ooh, one album. What album could I listen to over and over? Probably. It just gotta be one. Are you sure?
It's the rules of the island.
No. All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's cool. Any Lil Wayne album.
Okay.
Any Lil Wayne album. Probably any of the Carters. I'll take them.
Yeah, absolutely. The one with Mr. Carter and Mr. Officer on it, I'm taking. I think that's the Carter 3, I believe.
Carter 3, yeah, Carter 3.
Yeah.
And movie, the hands down, The Dark Knight.
Yes.
You bring up superheroes. I have to ask, if you were a superhero, what superhero would you be?
I don't like superheroes.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
You might have to flip that question around, Deirdre.
Apparently. Oh, what villain would you be?
The Joker.
Okay, there we.
Beautiful pick.
Awesome. Oh,
All right, but if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation.
Awesome. I would love to teleport. I'd be in Hawaii right now, Trey.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
all right, Trey. I'll give you. This is hypothetical. I give you $1 million,
Correct.
but you have to spend it all in a half hour. What are you spending it on?
A half hour?
Yep.
Ooh. I ain't gonna lie. At that point, I'm gonna just buy all the stocks I can. I'm gonna be honest.
You have to.
That's a great answer.
With a half hour, it's very limited time.
Yeah.
Because that I don't have enough money to go get a car, a house. You're not gonna spend $1 million in a mall doing anything.
No.
I mean, I'm just gonna buy stocks, crazy amount of stocks, and just go from there. And then, if you want some money, I'll be free to give you some after that.
Yeah, exactly. I always thought every time I say that answer, I'm like Bitcoin. But I'm just like, I'll get Bitcoin.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
All right, so in baseball, when you were playing, did you have a guy that you modeled your baseball game after?
David Wright.
Wow. The Mets get a little love on this.
Yeah.
David Wright. I like David Wright. He was a solid third baseman. I like that about him.
Great leader. Unfortunate injuries.
Correct.
All right. We got one more question for you, Trey, because I know you're probably still jet lagged from Hawaii. Never.
He's good. He's good.
We got one more for you. We talked about what NFL teams should expect from you. What should us as fans expect from you?
Man, as a fan base, I'm very fan oriented and very person oriented when it comes to football. Quick story, and I know this is off topic. Like this is a story that can kind of tell you what kind of person you'll get. I was at Auburn, and we got some winter gear, I believe, my freshman year. I walked into Walmart, and these kids asked me if I played football. I said yes, and one of them, the younger one, it was like, "Can I have that hat?" I just got it literally that same day, just got a beanie, and I thought to myself, as growing up as a kid, I ain't have much, and I ain't have what I wanted and everything like that, but I had what I needed. As a kid, that's my mentality about it. I'm not going to deprive a kid from, not looking up to me. So when he asked me, he was like, "Can I have it?" He didn't even think about it. He's so young, small child, maybe like 4 or 5. His brother was like, no, like, let's go. And I'm like, you know what? Here, take it. And there's 2 of them, so I felt bad. So I took the shirt off my back and gave it to the other brother. And like, that's, for me, that's just what that type of person I am. Like, if I see, I like to be in a role model. So I'm obviously going to give back. I love, or being with the fan base. And because outside of football, I just want to be looked at as a normal guy, like a normal man, like with no status really, and with my status that like I say, it's a unfortunate blessing because unfortunately I do have to carry that status, but at the same time it's a blessing. So with that status, I would like to uphold it. Like, I like to, like I said, be a role model to the kids and the younger generation. Because, all I heard growing up is people, when you're not looking, somebody's watching. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's always watching. And it'd be the ones that you don't think about, they're watching the hardest. So
yes,
that's just the type of person I am, and that's what fans should expect out of me. I'm not gonna, if I'm even if I'm on a very tight schedule, and I got 100 people that want autographs. I mean, I'm trying to get as many autographs as I can until somebody pulls me away.
That's awesome.
So,
I think that's exactly the answer we were looking for. That's a great thing. You're also gonna have the best name in football. We love the name talking about it. So.
Yes, sir.
Trey, whatever team ends up with you is lucky, and we can't wait to see what team you end up on. We'll be rooting for you. Can't wait to have you back on. We do expect a signed jersey, though. We would love for a signed jersey if we can. All right.
I got you. Most definitely, man. I'm not
Put it on a Hall of Fame wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Trey, thank you so much, man.
Man, most definitely. Thank y'all for having me.
Have a good one, man. Stay safe.
Yes, y'all too. Good blessings.
You too, man. All right. That was Tre Threat, everybody. Trey's a great guy, obviously. Be prepared. Be watching.
Be
Stay
ready.
watching. Be ready.
Yeah. Tre Threat. Big threat. Big Tre Threat.
Triple threat.
Triple threat. He is.
Love it.
All right, guys. We will be back with more coming up. James is back. He's back.
The return of the legend, baby.
He's not the same as he was before. He's been out in the wilderness. I'm shocked that he still knows his words. That was a good interview. Let's hope he keeps it this way and that he doesn't unravel. But we'll be good. All right.
Trying to keep it together. Stay safe. Stay well. Stay hydrated.